Down Records presents a hip-hop Christmas. You'll get such classics as These Nuts Roasted on an Open Fire, A Sleigh Ride in My 64, Annie Up Bitch, It's Christmas, and many more.
buy that
I can't
shit,
get this
son.
2 CD set.
I come to thoroughly disappoint. Drinking black coffee on a Saturday morning. We'll have to do a do-over on the Patreon stream because I didn't have time to set any of that up because I woke up late. Woke up so late. But I'll be all right. We're up late last night playing chess on Twitch, playing chess online. So that's what happened with that. Man, I had like a bunch of like heavy shit. Like for this guy, well, it's not that heavy. This older gentleman started speaking to me. He was pretty upset with me, but he's he's worried about protecting the community, and that's understandable. So he's one of those people that saw me out there trying to do the right thing and not doing it right, and so now gotta do the right thing the right way. It's heavy shit. I'm streaming right now because I have no time, and I'm trying to keep it that way. No free time to spare. I don't know if this even works. It'll probably block me, but let's see. That's depressing. DMX and Lou Diamond Phillips did a movie together? Wow. Who would have known?
Equal justice under law. May her memory be a blessing.
Yes, politics. Well, I mean, there's politicians, but politicians do good things sometimes. I would like you to join, but not today because I don't have time. I'm here because I don't have time. Create situations in which you have no time. That's fun. That's an interesting fucking concept. But we found that on the news, as we as it were as we came to be here. Can I rewatch? I had a pretty good game of chess last night. Towards the end of the night, I stayed up late. Well, it wasn't that late, but I guess it was a little too late. Drinking Jameson and playing chess online, and so I woke up late, and that's that. I have the room for one more night, but no time to enjoy it. No time. I have no time. But I do have a cozy, comfy bed and a shower. Saw a very attractive woman trading coins in the lobby, but she probably already has a boyfriend. Help me, Logic. Help me. Should I? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say what's in my head. See, you don't always have to say everything that's in your head. It's not that important. I'm drinking black coffee, um, and wasting time. I like wasting time. Uh, Justice Ginsburg, for all of her. Everybody in the fucking system has folly. That's the point, right? Like we're all humans. We all err. We err. But try to get people that have a little bit more backbone into fucking office and see what they can do. And time again, it seems we find they get some shit done. Ooh, the cost of code switching. With a mommy. I saw a notification for this. I thought it was last night. So it started 47 minutes ago. My bird. We'll go over here.
Is he working?
He was working. It's just not as much.
Oh,
and
wow.
I will say that he's not technologically.
The stream might be too much for me this morning.
Savvy.
Okay.
I say that right? So he is slower than me.
Because he was older. He was like over 50, right?
In his 50s, something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, and it's nothing negative. I mean, it's just the cohort. They are a little slower with technology. Yeah.
So he's not as fast as me. So like I can't fault him there because he just isn't as fast. Mm-hmm. But he's still and from my perspective, he still wasn't doing as much as he could have. Mm-hmm. The other two coworkers that left the team told me that was their same perspective, like before it. I think that I wasn't exposed to it when they were on the team because they were doing so much. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know. And then as they were leaving, they both were like, that's going to be a problem. Just let me know. And it was. So I got really frustrated. I could feel myself getting angry. And before I just cursed him out, I went to my VP at the time and told her that what my feelings were and I said I wanted to address it on a call. Mm-hmm. And asked her if that was okay. She okayed it. We get on the call. She beats around the bush, sugarcoats it. Everything was the team needs to do this. The team needs to do this. This isn't a team issue. This is a him issue. Like there's no team anything.
And because you said you were looking at his logs and he'd do it would take him like all day to do 5 things.
Yeah, my director now says similar things when he was leaving and training her on what needed to be done. And he was mm-hmm. like, this report that he told me takes him 3 hours to do takes me 15.
That's so rough. I deal with that. Like, it sounds like you're on probably a higher level, but like I deal with that on the low level all day where it's like, dude, how hard is it to just, no. And like people just want to get paid to literally fucking do nothing and play around on YouTube like this, right? Like, and I did a little bit, but at the same time, I have people telling me to slow my fucking roll. It's like, how am I supposed to do my job if you're over here fucking, telling me to just sit down and shut the fuck up? Like, no, there's a couple different things going on there. But if you're in a position of leadership and you're doing this shit, then yeah, you got to go. You got to go.
15 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know what that's about. I can't speak to it or what he was doing and why it took him 3 hours. I don't know. I've had similar experiences where he would train me to do something and we mm-hmm. literally did it the long way. And I was just like, I have no clue how I'm going to remember how to do this because we were just like clicking around. And then I asked my coworker like, hey, can you tell me like how to do this? Because when I was training with him, it was a lot. And he was like, oh, you just do this. And I was like,
look at your face right there. Like, why were we over here?
So that will just live in my head rent free, I swear, because I just always think about that anytime I think about him. And I'm just like, I promise you it took us 30 minutes to do this thing that should have taken me 10 seconds. So and maybe that's just him. He just did things along. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm like noticing things like that, and I'm like, look, we have a pipeline tracker of all of the work that we do because we issue out documents, so we have a tracker to track the documents that we're supposed to be sending out. My numbers are higher than his,
and you were brand new.
Yeah, like was new with issuing those documents and all of that, and yeah, my numbers are higher than his, and I'm like,
Awkward. I was muted, Jason. Thank you for. I had housekeeping at the door. I got my room for another night, so it's always confusion. Um, what were we talking about? Shit. See, I had a comment to make, and then I got distracted. So I guess we'll just let these ladies continue.
Like, why do I have 30 items on the tracker and he has 12?
And he's been there for like 10 to 12 years or something like that. And he should be dancing circles around you.
I thought. So
you wanted to
brought it to my manager.
Yeah.
We have the call. I did address another guy and like his issues on the call. He took it lightly, like didn't say anything. The guy was white, didn't take it any type of way. And then she finishes up and I'm just like, nothing was addressed. Like that's
Oh yeah, so the comment I was making on the previous comment, and I'm gonna have to go. See, I can't even get into this because I have to go like fairly soon. But all right, so when you're newer, right, you're obviously, if you're performing well, you're gonna have better numbers because you don't have that history behind you, right? To where you have like you're inevitably going to have some failures in your professional capacity. And then whatever, like that's probably going to happen unless you're like fucking super duper successful, right? You're gonna have some setbacks. And so as a newer person who's doing really well, excelling on the job, you're going to have great numbers, right? That's to be expected. But I understand at the same time what you're saying about the fact that the person who's supposed to be training you isn't even on top of their shit, right? And they're just like, yeah, you just get by, like whatever, who cares? Like that guy is not a good training person.
These are my thoughts at the end of the call, and they're like, does anyone have anything else to say? I pause, see if anybody else wants to say anything before I say what I want to say. Nobody says anything. I have something. And I called him out and I was like, you need to step up. You are a leader amongst the team. Like, you've been here the longest. You are team lead by default. Like it just is. So I think at the time that we had the call, we had just hired a new temp, and then the other guy that was working, he had like medical issues and stuff, so he wasn't as familiar with the product as he probably could have been because he was constantly in and out because of the medical issues. Mm-hmm. But even both of them were coming to me with questions. They were not going to him, and they were telling me like, I don't feel comfortable doing this, or they were even telling me he doesn't do anything. Like we don't see that he does anything either. So I'm like, and these are people that are currently on the team on top of the feedback that I got from the people who just left the team that had worked with him for years. Mm-hmm. The consensus is the same. Mm-hmm. So also from my perspective, I'm like, okay, well, I feel justified in this because it's not just me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I called him out. I told him that he needed to step up. You do need to do better. You are a leading member. These are facts. Mm-hmm. And then we end the call, and then she comes, my VP comes to me and she's like, you shouldn't have did that. Because it hurt his feelings. So was the reason that I got.
Not so, that, did she say anything like you're rude, you had a bad tone? It was just his feelings were hurt. So what you did was bad?
She said you embarrassed him because you called him out amongst his peers. Next time, go to him privately is what you have to say.
But you told her that
I told her before the meeting. I did.
Doesn't that seems backwards though, right? Like you would think that it would be more appropriate to call somebody out in front of the group, because if you go to talk to them privately, then it's just a he said she said, like literally in this case. Like he would just say, "What? I don't know what she's talking about. This lady's fucking crazy, right?" Like you could go do that. Like, yeah, it seems like you should talk to this person privately, but in this setting, no. Like you got to get the whole group and be like, "Hey, what are you talking about, duder?" Like, hello, logic.
I did ask for the meeting, but I said I want the meeting for X, Y, and Z reasons, and she okayed it.
And okay, so you did exactly what you, and she blessed it, and you did exactly what she blessed, and then she came back and yelled at you for doing what you said you were going to do, and she blessed. So that was your prior manager. You're no longer working with her.
So when my director, because we didn't have a director at the time, when my director currently was coming.
Yeah, but to clarify, Jason, she is questioning the person in power. That's the difference. It's not the other way around. Like if you're a manager, you're talking to an employee. Yeah, I get that. But if you're the employee questioning the manager, you don't want to do that on your own, right? That really doesn't make sense, because then they're just going to stomp on you any chance they get.
Was coming into position, the VP, that same woman, warned her about me.
What was the warning?
Basically that I can be aggressive and uncooperative is what I took from what was said.
Okay.
And then we get here, and I think my director understands better now how I am, and I did just have to tell her, like, I don't like doing things that don't make sense. Right. If you can explain to me what I'm doing and why, we're good. And it makes sense, like, we'll stop. And we've had several instances where I've gone to her and I'm like, I don't understand this. Should we be doing this? Or whatever. And there were even stuff that, like, I had asked my.
So I fully relate to this, like, and it sucks that I can't go deeper into it. But with my recent circumstances, like, yeah, I mean, okay, we'll say not even my recent circumstances, my whole history and the industry that I'm in, I've had a lot of incompetent trainers, right? But as it turns out, you know, the history of that also includes a bunch of employees like myself who are like, yeah, dude, I'm just another employee who's getting paid the same wage as you to train you at a place that I've only been maybe a couple weeks or something. You know, I'm not like well versed here, right? And they're like, we're not even going to pay you extra to train this motherfucker. We're just going to tell you this is just part of your job description today, right? And management's like, they're out to fucking lunch. Nobody's there to actually help anybody, right? Like, they're just like, we're just going to send this guy out on the job and tell him he has a trainee today. And then in our industry, you're questioning, hey, is that trainee replacing me tomorrow? I don't even know that, right? They might be. It's possible. So that's a fucked up position to be in. How much incentive do you have to really give a guy good advice under those conditions?
My previous VP about, and then ask my director about it, because I guess she's more knowledgeable. And my director gave me an answer that made way more sense. And then the answer that my VP gave me, just literally, it was like she was literally pulling shit out of her ass. So that kind of also irritated me, because I'm like, you could have just said that you didn't know.
Right. I think people, it's a different stream, but people have a problem with admitting that they don't know shit. And or that saying, I don't know, makes them look incompetent. But I mean, like, if you don't know, you don't know. And, what I usually tell people when I don't know is, I'm not sure. I haven't heard that. Let me look into it, or I'll find out and get back to you.
Yeah.
There's ways. I mean, you don't just say I don't know and just stare at them, but I don't know. It's a societal thing. I see it with every group. The issue I kind of have with the directness, though. Did you go to anyone else that was in the room and ask them what their perception was of the way you asked the question?
All of the white people in my okay, so in a conversation with the older guy, because my other coworker, he's white, he texted me and he was like, "Damn." And I was like, "What?" I said what needed to be said. And then even the director who was like stepping in, he was like, "Maybe you shouldn't have done it like that." And both him and the VP were just like, "It's because you did it in front of other people," which I understand more now.
Okay.
I still don't take any accountability for that because I feel like I did what I was.
So what you're supposed to like schedule a meeting and hope that she's there that day, and
I think I did what I was supposed to do. I went to my manager to talk about it, and she said this is fine. So I don't take accountability for making him feel embarrassed because I was told it was okay to do that. Yeah,
right.
Fast forwarded to the situation that happened.
Not Julie. I was gonna say no. Her background is flashy. I think I've seen Pocket Locker around before. But no, I don't know. I like her background, her setup now, though. Maya is a cutie. Just in my personal opinion, of course.
With the head of like our department and everything, I asked my coworkers, my two other coworkers who were in the meeting with me, the one that's Filipino, I asked her, and I was like, when I told her exactly what was said, and she was like, "What?" And she is more reserved than I am. There are a lot of times where if she's having an issue with someone, I'm like, or if she's getting upset that she has to repeat herself, like she'll be like, "They didn't read my email." And I was like, "Okay, reattach the email and say, per my email."
Yeah.
That's what I do. Like, you need to read.
Yeah.
She chooses not to. She's like, "I think I'm gonna be a little nicer." Okay. I just prefer to let you know that you're being stupid.
Okay, I catch your drift there. Just as far as content goes, I mean, we all have to be like focused on whatever our agendas are, right? Like, so that makes sense. If you're going to be an activist about a certain thing, you know what your focus is. I see that in Maya. Yeah, I think she would be a good TYT anchor.
Yeah, I've sent emails back like with my original comment highlighted. Like, it's like,
I
no,
always
it's
make
still
sure
this.
to provide. Yeah, I always make sure to provide the backup because they love to be like, "You never said this." I did. Here's all of the proof where I did.
But
you're welcome.
No, I mean, I've worked with a lot of Filipino because there are a lot of Filipino women in healthcare, and they are that more like kind of demure, can't look you in the eye when I'm trying to confront you, or like if the manager is admonishing them for something, anything at all, be it severe or you didn't fold this correctly. Like they can't look them in the eye. That's seen as squaring up, looking somebody directly in the eye. So
So, all right, I'm gonna kill right now, so I don't, because I could go off on tangent, and I'm not gonna go off on tangent. We'll allow you can go over to Maya's stream. I think I'll put another link. But as far as Tapioca Weasel, there was a debate recently where Tapioca Weasel was supposed to be modding, and then both the debaters, one of them was Sal. I can't remember who the other one is. I'm sorry. Was it anyway? And they're both asking Tapioca Weasel, the moderator, one of the impartial moderators, to answer questions to clarify for their fucking arguments. I'm fucking dying. This is not how debates work, folks. This is not how debates work. But I think Maya's a beautiful human being. I think y'all are beautiful human beings. I have to go, but it's been fucking real. Go check out the Facebook page or the Twitch page if you want to see me playing chess drunkenly against people last night because that's what I was doing. All right. See you later.